Hi, 6th grade readers. We are going to be working in our composition notebook today. You are also going to be needing your new packet that was given to you, the sequencing packet. Up at the top, you are just going to write sequencing. On your next available page. And then we are going to take I'm going to just move this for a second. Move this for a second. We're going to take this first page out of our composition notebook, and we are going to cut this out all the way around the outside. I shrunk this page down so that it would fit in our composition notebook. I should cut above those little words at the bottom there. So that it looks like this when you're all said and done. Then you are going to glue this onto the page in your composition notebook. And then glue the whole thing down. So cut out all the way around the outside and glue the whole thing down today. Pretty easy. Okay, so sequencing. You've probably worked with it before, and actually in your paragraph writing in language arts, you have worked a lot with sequencing. And it is putting things in order of when they happen, basically, is the main idea of it. So underneath this little square here, it says sequence is, and we're going to write the definition. So the order in which events occur. So in a story that we read in this class, and all the stories that we read after this class, there's always an order in which events happen. So sequencing is pretty heavily used in the books that we read. In order to show sequence, you might find some clue words, and I'm going to write clue words. Do a little like bubble or something. Draw an arrow to show that these are going to be some clue words you might find in order to find some sequencing in a text or in a story. You might see first this happened, then this happened, next this happened, after that something else happened, before that, then something else happened, later they went to the store, finally, last or lastly. You might see second or third, so on and so forth. So a lot more than what's just listed on this here. But these are some of the main or most popular clue words that you might find when you're looking for the order of events occurring in a story. So underneath that, they have some blanks that we're going to fill in as some notes here. Transition words, which are all of these up here, these clue words, transition words, help to connect ideas and indicate the order in which events occur. So these clue words here help to tell you, okay, first this happened, and then second this happened, third this happened. If they didn't have these words here, these transition or clue words here, we wouldn't necessarily know what happened first, what happened second, what happened third. And if they were jumbled all together, maybe it wouldn't make sense to have them happen in a certain order, or maybe it would. So that's kind of the way or the reason why we add these clue words in here, is to connect the ideas in the order that they occur. The next bullet says words, phrases, or dates that tell when something is happening also help readers figure out the sequence of events. So if there's dates or years or months, that's a huge, huge clue or indicator of the order that something is happening. Phrases and words could be this, or even before the time that they met father, comma, then that would be considered part of the phrase. But if you just see these clue words here, that's what they mean by words. So the next bullet says, sometimes events may jump around. And they may be a little confusing, or they may go back and forth in time. Some stories that you read will, or different perspectives of people, switch perspectives or switch time periods depending on the chapter. So sometimes those events may jump around and it may be difficult to realize what the order of an event is. This example down here says the girl didn't realize, so this is right now in current time, that before she arrived at class, so that was way back then, the teacher had assigned homework. So we have to think about what actually happened first. The girl didn't realize that before she arrived at class, the teacher assigned homework. Well, before class, the teacher assigned homework. The teacher that assigned homework is actually the first thing that occurred in this text. Okay, some events may happen at the same time. And you have to figure out what actually happened first or what happened simultaneously. What happened at the same time, which is what simultaneously means. So the example says, just as I touched the doorknob, the door flew open. What two events happened simultaneously? Touching the doorknob and the door opening. Okay, so pause this right now if you need to finish up the notes. We're going to move the page down a little bit so we can fill out the tips for finding sequence, but you're going to have some of this top part covered up. So if you need to pause this, go ahead. Otherwise, we will move on. So tips for finding sequence. First off, I would look for clue words. That's going to be your easiest, best bet. Look for clue words. Okay, that's going to be your first tip. Look for clue words. Number 2, you're going to pay attention to the clues about time. Two clues about time. Like if they have dates or weeks or months. Pay attention to those because those are going to help you to find the sequence or the order in which things occur in a story. Tip number 3 is you're going to look closely at steps or events and find a logical order. So what I mean by a logical order is the order that makes the most sense. So if someone were to go to the store, buy some groceries, and pay for the groceries and load the groceries into the car, they're probably not going to load the groceries first into their car and then go back and buy them and then pay and then go to the grocery store. Make sure that it's just in a logical order, an order that makes sense. And then number 4, if you can't figure it out, always look back at the passage. And then you can start these 3 top clues over again. Okay? All right, so we are going to be done with that for today. So you're just going to be copying down these notes, and that is it. And then tomorrow we will start working on some sequencing events. So if you need to pause it right here again to finish up the notes, go ahead. Otherwise, if you need to pause it down here to finish up these notes, go right ahead. And that is all.